Welcome back to part number 2 of What If Anakin Had a Twin. Thank you for your support on part 1. If you aren't aware of the first part, please watch that first before watching this video. The link will be in the description below. Qui-Gon looked up at the disappearing stealth ship with annoyance and with great concern. The Zabrak he had fought seemed to be some adaptation of the Sith, an order of dark side users thought to have disappeared a millennia ago, but in order to warn the Council, he would need to leave the planet. With Watto disposed of by the Sith, Qui-Gon is able to ensure the freedom of Anakin and his mother Shmi after he had successfully won the pod race. Taking the part for the hyperdrive from Watto's junkyard, the Toydarian was not aware of the race or losing the bet, and the group all head back to Coruscant. Upon landing, they are greeted by Chancellor Valorum and Senator Palpatine, oblivious that the latter had a hold over Anakin's twin. After greeting the arriving Queen, Palpatine turned and scowled, as he had asked for the Trade Federation to destroy her ship, as well as the Jedi and Qui-Gon, whom had a hold of Anakin Skywalker. Heading back to his apartment, he saw his master Plagueis and his apprentice Maul waiting for him. Looking at the young Anakin huddled in the corner, Sidious deduced that there were far too many of them in the room. As for the Sith, there could only be 2, and he ignited his lightsabers. Plagueis and Maul soon respond to the threat, but are confused as to who to attack. Sidious, however, goes straight for his master Plagueis, but the Sith Master elegantly sidesteps the whirlwind of lightsabers, before reflecting Sidious's force-stunning attacks. The two Sith engage in a vicious force battle, and Maul realised that he would be outmatched, and through the vibrant haze of white Sith lightning, he carried Anakin to his Sith infiltrator and escaped from Coruscant. Still, the two Sith battled until the energy created burst through the room, and they lay opposite of each other as the roof collapsed on their heads. The following day, the Coruscant police were straight to the scene of the incident, and the medics carry Palpatine and Higo Damask to the Galactic City's medical centre. Soon the Coruscant forces are joined by the Jedi, and they conclude that the explosion happened from a detonator, but Qui-Gon is convinced that this was the work of some Sith magic. The attack on 2 prominent political figures is used by Supreme Chancellor Valorum, as he blames the Trade Federation and Nute Gunray, but they deny their claims, all the while having their own plans of invading Naboo. The lack of action from the Senate prompts Queen Amidala against the wishes of Chancellor Valorum to secretly recruit the Jedi and the Gungan army. Back in a medical facility on Coruscant, Palpatine awoke at the same time as Plagueis. Their hatred for each other could be felt in the large room, but they realised that Maul had gone, and along with him, the twin of Anakin Skywalker. As they recovered, they discovered to their irritation that Chancellor Valorum had not been voted out, and now the Trade Federation were in danger from an attack. Sidious immediately warned Gunray and the Federation army, but the Jedi and Queen Amidala were already in Naboo. Sidious has to go himself, as Maul had deserted them, and he observed the battle from a nearby hilltop. Ordering the recently acquired droid army to prepare their attack, Sidious tracked the Jedi of Obi-Wan Kenobi and Qui-Gon Jinn to the Theed hangar, and awaited their arrival. The Sith Lord was intrigued by Master Qui-Gon, as he felt different from all of the other Jedi, and could be an ally for the Sith, alongside Jedi Master Dooku, who was falling out with some of the Jedi Council's recent decisions. Opening the heavy blast doors with a swipe of his hand, the eyes of the Jedi narrow in determination, feeling the intense darkness radiating off of the Sith. Sidious used his lightning attack on Kenobi, and the Jedi is taken out of the battle as he dangled at the edge of the cliff face. Sidious and Qui-Gon began to duel, and the Jedi Master could tell that the Sith was toying with him, and asked him what he wanted. Sidious told him that he needed Qui-Gon for the future of the galaxy, as soon the Jedi would fall. Qui-Gon increased the speed of his attacks, but Sidious disarmed him, and ordered him for a final time to join him. Suddenly, Sidious was projected backwards by a blast from the hangar. Anakin Skywalker had found his way into a starfighter, and fired at Sidious, sending the Sith Lord down a narrow shaft, and allowing Qui-Gon to escape. After successfully defeating the Trade Federation forces, the Jedi head back to Coruscant, and at the Jedi Temple, Obi-Wan is granted the rank of a Jedi Knight, allowing for Qui-Gon to train Anakin. Back in Senator Palpatine's office, the Sith apprentice was furious, and he vowed for revenge against both Maul and the Jedi. That is it for part 2 of What If Anakin Had a Twin. If you'd like to see a part 3 soon, please like this video, turn on the notification bell, click that subscribe button on this channel, as well as on my other channel What If Films. And as always, leave a comment on what if you'd all like to see next, and how I can improve my videos. Thank you all very much for watching, and see you next time.